The first step for our patient journey is when the patient walks in at the reception. So here in our HIMS, we log in the reception dashboard. And our first objective is to add the patient to our existing HIMS. So these are the steps to add a new patient to our HIMS. We go to manage patient with NDHM, add patient by scanning QR code. Now if we switch to our mobile app, we'll come to the top right section and select the user profile. From there, we will scan the QR code. Post we scan it, we share these details. If we go back to our HIMS, we can see we have all the details here. Simply scroll down, add and link the patient. Here you can see our first entry, the patient has been added. Next, we can get into the consent management. So here with the consent management process, we'll go to patient, view patient, and create a consent request. Here we will select the doctor. For example, Dr. Ananya Srivastava. We'll select the type of reports, that's prescription and diagnostic. The start time is where, since when do we want to share the reports with and till when. So we select those dates. Until what time does the doctor have access to my reports? We select the time and we submit this. Post submission, a consent request has been created, and now when we can see here it has been initiated. Now next step is we go to our mobile app and accept this consent request. So we come to the requests tab at the bottom of the screen. Here we can see a consent request has been created. We check the details out and we grant consent. Since this is my first time, I will be creating a new PIN and we verify that PIN and the consent has been granted from the mobile app's front. Now if we go back to our HIMS, we can instantly see that the initiated has been transformed into granted. So there we have it. We have the consent given. Now we can move to the next step, which is the actual diagnosis. For the actual diagnosis, we come back to our HIMS and log in as the doctor. Let's log in as Dr. Ananya Srivastava here. And from our dashboard, we'll come to patients and view patients. Now here I'll only see patients that have been registered under the doctor's name. So for our patient here, we'll get patient history. We'll just give it a second to load and we'll get the reports. Once we click the reports, it takes a small loading time, but here we get these reports. When we see a particular report and when we click on it, we can see the PDF in its actual format, but interestingly, the doctor is not allowed to download these files to their machines. So once I have seen these reports, now I can give my diagnosis and post a conversation. I can create an e-prescription. Now where I add a prescription here, I'll select the patient, add a prescription, and let's create a dummy prescription with crocin and cough syrup for 5 and 10 days, 3 times a day. And the prescription has been updated and submitted to the patient. Now to close the loop of the whole process, I will receive an SMS just like this one. Once I open it and click on the link in my browser, it takes me to the mobile app, PHR App. There I can see my prescription records, my diagnostic report. So in case of a prescription record, I can see it as it has been uploaded. Same thing with a diagnostic report and any other such reports that may come in the future.